There we go. Hey everyone, just a note, it is currently Friday, October 16th, 2020, as a recording, and welcome to my first episode of my brand new web series called Nate's Mysteries. So let's go ahead and roll the intro. And apparently they were the perfect match. So they met on this bridge here. Kind of reminds me of someone that I once knew. Can't go back on the choices you make though.
Nate's Mysteries came about through sheer coincidence. In 2019, I had the seeds planted for a horror film that was titled The Door Lord. It was going to star Joshua Wardlow's Jared Willeni.
So Joshua, how you feeling today, man?
I feel alright.
Feeling confident for filming?
No.
Joshua was most notable for reprising a role in Nate's Mysteries as himself, actually. Dr. Josh.
Hey, hi, how are you? I hope you're having a great day so far, and thank you for tuning into today's video. No, I'm just visiting. My grandma, she's actually from over here.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
she fell down a flight of stairs the other day. You know, my grandma, she's the one who fell down the stairs, and so I'm used to grandparents or whatever.
We had the script for the movie written out, and filming had already begun towards the end of 2019 with Ethan Lovett, Noah Weaver, Joshua Wardlow, and me having all completed scenes for the picture. It was set to release on September 4th, 2020, and we even made an official Instagram account called Nexus Film Productions then to promote the project. It wasn't until spring 2020 that we ran into major problems with it. Most of our cast's availability had changed, and the film was looking like it had to be scrapped. One of the last things we filmed for it was a teaser with me in the Door Lord costume. We had a meeting eventually. It was with me, Ethan, and Noah. And we sat down and we realized that we needed something that would allow us an outlet that could handle the budget restrictions that we had at the time. So I came up with the idea that we take the Door Lord and we flesh him out into a character that I called Kyle Clement. And from there, we needed an antithesis for him. So I thought of a college student filming a web series. And I thought that'd be a great way to achieve our low budget and still pack it full of narrative. In the same vein as horror series on YouTube like Marble Hornets and Everyman Hybrid, which I grew up watching.
Hey, this is Noah Weaver. I play Carson Millard on Nate's Mysteries. For me personally, I feel like Carson, he can relate to a lot of people because he was always the quiet, didn't really talk that much, maybe didn't want to trust people with some of the ways he did things or said things and stuff. But it's like if you could just find that one group that can work with you and stuff and actually have trust in you and have faith in you to figure out what you want to do in life. I think that's the most important part of life of being Carson and stuff, is because before he met Nate and Mike and all them, he was just basically doing everything on his own, and he just thought that's how it was always going to be. But luckily he found this group of people at the right time at the right place, because if he didn't have met them, he probably would have been, casted out, never to be heard of or seen of or anything like that in between. I wanted to always be a film writer and stuff, and I was kind of working on a project by myself writing wise and stuff, I didn't have, I guess, the inspiration to do it because I was never good at handling things by myself. I was always more of like a helping with a team member kind of say. But I remember when Dylan asked me and stuff, he said, hey, would you want to write an episode since you're not going to be here for like maybe 2 episodes and stuff? Would you maybe want to write or direct an episode or 2? And of course, I was all upon it, the idea and stuff. And, you know, we kind of sat down with each other and kind of wanted to see where we wanted to take the story and everything and stuff. And I remember I wrote 2 episodes, and it was our very first 2-part film for the series. And I remember the first one just being like, okay, I can write this down, I can write this down, this might be a funny bit, but I don't know, let me cross for this with Dylan and stuff. And he actually liked the first one so much that he just kept it the way it is. He might have changed like maybe 1 or 2 details, but for the rest of the time, he just kind of let me be my own creative person and just take it off to being like, yep, we can do this and everything. And I just remember, so when we did the last episode of season 2, I think it was like the end of May or 1st of July. Well, during that time, I was just working my regular job and everything. And by the time we got to the episode where we were doing my 2 episodes, it was January. And I just remember I had to wear the exact same thing that I did in the last episode of season 2. The only difference was my hair, my beard was longer, but the rest of my clothes had to show. And I just remember it being like 25 or 30 degrees that day and stuff. And he was like, yeah, we got to do like 5 or 6 takes of this. We got to do 2 or 3 takes of this. The entire time I was just going, Dylan, get this scene over with. My teeth are cracking because of the cold. I mean, you know, that's the thing. We've been doing this show for, 5 years and everything. And we're now doing a spin-off series for it and stuff. But I kind of want to say my favorite memory was, I think it was season 2 when we did our Christmas episode. And of course we did it in June, so we was kind of dying because we all had winter gear on and jeans and coats and all this stuff. Well, we did that. And I just remember, the scene goes, Nate walks into the room and asks for Carson and Mike.
Mike, Carson, y'all still here?
Well, instead of doing that, he just goes, Nate? No, wait, I'm Nate. And I had like 0 sleep that day because I was just coming off work and I went straight over there to film with him. I was behind the camera and I was just dying laughing, saying we need a compilation of this stuff. And I wish we never would have gotten rid of it because that would have been like the best blooper reel that we could have posted on our social media websites. Well, really, I would kind of like to see the characters have their own kind of special ending. Kind of like the whole, I want them to go out with a bang, or, I want them to do this, or have a life and marriage and all that. For me personally, I would love to see Carson in his final moments in the show. Personally, I would feel like he would be the one standing at a battle and stuff, being the last one standing before he utterly collapses. But it's also to find out that he had a peace of mind the entire time because he knew that he battled his demons and he conquered every last one of them and stuff, and he owned up to all of his mistakes. And that last battle was his final victory battle, saying, yeah, I'm finally at peace with myself. I can leave this world knowing that I don't have any regrets or morals left in my life. I just want to say to everybody that I worked on with the Nate's Mysteries, like, I love y'all. We built a friendship on this. We're building a business on this. Hopefully one day that we can all have a reunion to where we can do something with each other again. Maybe on a different project, or we keep Nate's Mysteries going. But I just want to say thanks to all the people that we worked with, and I love all y'all. And all y'all have a very special place in my heart, just like the fans do. Without y'all, we wouldn't have been able to do what we need to do for this show. And I just personally, from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you to every last one of us who support us and always give us a like on our videos and all that.